Today, we're going over why your ankle is still stiff after an ankle sprain. So if it's 3 months, 6 months, in this video, I'm going to show you exactly what to do, why this is happening, and the evidence, how to get it better as quick as possible, possibly with stuff at home. Hopefully you don't have to see a podiatrist, but let's go. So in this guide, I'm going to focus more on the 6 causes why it's happening and focus briefly on the treatment, stuff you can start doing immediately, proven stuff that works. But in the comments, we love when you guys tell us why your ankle sprain happened and what's been working for you. We want to know all this stuff and watch all the way through because some of the best options for at home are available at the very end. With an ankle sprain, if it takes more than 3 months to get better, then something's dramatically wrong. In this video, we talk about how an ankle sprain happens and the 3 types of grades of sprain and why those should get better. So I'm going to put 2 videos up there. The first one is our ankle sprain guide, why do ankles happen? And then number 2 is if your ankle's not getting better at all. I'm going to list that one. But mainly there's 6 things causing it. If this is your ankle right here, underneath here, this is called your talus. So your talus, there's a lateral process of a talus right here. That could be broken. So this is the least likely of the 6. If it's broken, you want to see your podiatrist. You want to get it evaluated. You might need a cast. You might need a brace to get better, but gradually that should get better. The good news is majority don't need surgery. Number 5 is nerve injuries. So you have your peroneal nerve that starts up here and along the side of your ankle and the top of your ankle. That could be sore. That could be causing pain. Probably not stiffness, but again, resting it takes about 3 months after an injury and swelling comes down for that to get better. So see your podiatrist about that one if you think you have nerve injury, but that sharp shooting, burning pain, especially at night. Along the outside as well, you have 2 tendons called your peroneal tendons. So your peroneal tendons, they basically do this. They make your foot turn out. So when you're walking and you try to turn your foot out, test that against your hand. How sore is that? Also, along the outside of your ankle, feel the soft tissue. Is that sore? It might be a peroneal tendon injury. That might benefit from an MRI if there is a split tear that's not getting better. But again, usually protect it. Very rarely does that need surgery. Number 3, cartilage injury. If you're stiff and swollen and in a lot of pain still more than 3 months after surgery, you might have damaged the cartilage in your ankle. That can be a little bit serious. Most people, 80% of the time, get better still with protecting, but you want to see your podiatrist for this one. What we like to do is, number 1, get an x-ray, potentially an ultrasound or an MRI. An ultrasound won't really help in this one. It's not good enough. But what we do is we perform an injection into the ankle joint. If the pain goes away almost completely, then you know it's probably something like a cartilage injury inside the joint. If it doesn't get better, you know it's probably not the cartilage injury. So that's a great test, very low risk, very quickly done. Number 2, ankle ligaments. So you have a couple ankle ligaments along the side here. You have three of them. So your anterior talofibular ligament, your calcaneofibular ligament, and your post PTFL, so in the back. And they hold your ankle stabilized. We could quickly tell through history and physical, depending on how your foot bends, and again, some of those videos linked at the end of this video and at the beginning of this video, we'll go over that. But if one of those 3 ligaments is damaged and it's ripped and you're moving around so much that it hasn't had time to grow into itself, that might be the problem. An MRI and ultrasound could help in our office, but at the same time, 80% of the time, it still does well with protection. Some of the time, people do need surgery to correct that, so that can help people out quite a bit. And the number 1 common thing is scar tissue, tightness. A couple things cause this, but it's tightness through your calf muscle, through your hamstring, through your thigh muscle. You never really stretched it back out. You're staying sore for so long that you're just walking with your pressure off your foot. That means you're putting all your body weight onto the other foot. 2 things happen. This is any type of biomechanical correction. Here's what you got to do. Number 1, you got to get rid of the inflammation. So if you have sore muscles, you got to get that down. So my favorite things to do here are wear good shoes, good orthotics, good braces. At the end, we're going to link to them, and at the bottom and on our website, there's no way you can miss these if you're looking for them. As the soreness goes down, you start to get flexible. If you're still really sore, how can you stretch? It's like taking elastic that's frozen in the freezer and trying to stretch it and be like, hey, why is this not getting better? You have to let it rest for a little while, protect it, and then it becomes flexible on its own. So your ankle tightness, your calf tightness, your hamstring tightness, how your knee's compensating for your ankle, how your hips compensating for your knee and your ankle. You have to address all this stuff through stretching, but first getting that inflammation down. So we like to do a lot of things. First, that's all physical therapy does. It gets you feel better. The first they work on massage and pain therapy, and then flexibility. That's all of physical therapy. All these videos you see online, that's really all they're doing. But where we see people fail is they don't get the inflammation down first. So that's your icing, your elevating, and people complain. Please don't be that person that goes, new studies say you shouldn't ice. Yes, you shouldn't if you're feeling better, but if you're inflamed and you can't stretch and everything hurts, it's kind of like flattening the peak in the coronavirus outbreak. You don't want to have it all at once and not be able to do anything and overload the system. That's what happens when people are so sore. They never make it to the stretching phase. I didn't mean to do like a belittling voice, but everybody always does this. And I think this is completely false. Yes, everybody knows the icing can slow down the inflammation. Everybody knows. Everybody knows. This is not a secret. But the point is what happens on paper. Not everybody's a professional athlete that's monitored. So the average person out there, get your inflammation down and then do your stretching. So a couple ways to do that. Anti-inflammatories, icing, massage rollers, all this stuff. They're all linked on our page below. But then you stretch. My favorite thing to do is a foam roller and massage rolling sticks. If you use these two things, the foam roller and the massage roller, these do amazing. These will buy you about an hour or two of easier stretching, and then you can use stretching devices. So I love the static boots we're going to review, and I love the dynamic stretching devices. So here's our products that we're going to use. Now we're going to go over 5 great products that can help with ankle mobility and tightness. So number 1 is a compression ankle brace. This is one great brand because it's got 3,000 reviews at 4.6. It's only $20 for the pair. This does great. It basically goes in. It can fit in any shoe. You can work out with it. There's not a lot of straps. You basically put it on pretty easily. And it does a great job for more than these conditions. So that keeps your swelling down and can keep you a little bit more flexible quicker. So the next one is if you had a heavy duty sprain, if you're not in a walking boot and you didn't damage something, a heavier duty lace-up brace. There's a lot of different brands, but this is a decent brand. It's got 900 reviews. So it's got 900 reviews, 4.4 out of 5. That's pretty good right there. So you can't go wrong with a lace-up ankle brace. This is more heavy duty than the compression one that we talked about right here. So the next one is, again, this is a debatable thing, but for $20, if you want to ice, you can use a regular bag of ice. You don't necessarily need this thing, but you can wear this while you're watching TV, cool it down, get it feeling better, combined with a compression brace. That's a great choice for inflammation. The next one is now we're getting you more flexible. So a high density foam roller. So does this build muscle? Does it get you permanently more flexible? No, but it gets the inflammatory fluid out of your muscles and makes your muscles more flexible. Personally, I like to use the high density one on glutes, hamstrings, and hips and thighs. And then, but you can see $25. This is the Amazon brand, almost 5,000 reviews. It does a great job. And then for your calf muscles and the front of your legs, you want to use something like this. This is a great brand right here, almost 2,000 reviews. You could see they make a lot of different ones, little ones, more flexible ones for different people. This works best for your plantar fascia. Hey, guess what? We have a phenomenal book. I believe this is the premier book on chronic nerve pain and peripheral neuropathy pain on the planet. I've put years of work seeing tens of thousands of peripheral neuropathy patients, working with some of the best diabetic endocrinologists, the best doctors, the best neurologists in building out this book. For you, my viewers, we have a discount code available. Get on our mailing list and get that book down here.